Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Damage 365 Radio. This is episode number 46, and I am Coach Kev, and your host, and I welcome you to the show. And I'm once again riding solo, as Nick DeBeard is in his 9-volt battery Saturn somewhere on the New England Turnpike on his way back from Maine. And JT is on assignment, cutting some awesome cold cuts, some brand new American cheddar cheese. We heard all about it last night at Warriors of Wrestling. He was very proud of his new Boar's Head product. He's out of his freaking mind. But we have a great show in store for you today. As always, we have our shout-outs. We will recap last night's Warriors of Wrestling. We will have the final round of the Intercontinental Championship tournament. And then when we come back from commercial break, we will have our sit-down interview with former TNA and NWA Women's Heavyweight Champion Kia Stevens, formerly known as Kharma and Awesome Kong. It was a great interview. We debuted it this past Wednesday on VOC Nation's Pandemonium with myself and Nanny. And we will play the entire interview again for the Damage 365 listeners. And as always, we are streaming live on Skype at Damage 365 Radio. We can be reached on Twitter at Damage Athletics. If you want to send Nanny a message, you can reach her at Twitter at Mup Hits. She was part of that interview as well, and she joined us last night at Warriors of Wrestling. And we'll get into next week's guests, and we're almost to the big event, November 8th, where we'll be joined by Pitbull Gary Wolf, Axel Rotten, Christy Kiss, and possibly another surprise guest, another former WWE superstar. I just got to get some information to lock that down before it happens. Make sure we have the room. So without further ado, throw that Dallas Cowboy game on mute, because you know the second half they're going to choke anyway. Give me 45 minutes of your time, and unlike the Jet fans who are jumping from bridges as we speak, we are ready to rock and roll. Some shout outs, ladies and gentlemen. We got some birthdays in the house. We would like to wish a happy birthday to Damage alum Justine Sefchick, and a happy birthday to Damage alum Ashley Smith. A happy birthday goes out to current Damage Athletic shortstop Mike Kingren, and a happy birthday goes out to a former guest, Eric Sims of ESS Promotions. Happy birthday to everybody out there celebrating their birthday this week with Damage 365 Radio. it's time to get down to the tournament, folks. It is all over. It has come down to the nitty-gritty. 72 former Intercontinental Champions. I actually should say 71 former Intercontinental Champions, with one current Intercontinental Champion being Dolph Ziggler. 72 title holders. 70 up, 70 down. It came down to two. Came down to ravishing Rick Rude versus the defending and reigning champion, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we want to announce the winner of the 2015 Damage 365 Radio Greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. That's right, folks, the winner, and now the two-time defending, reigning, back-to-back greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. It stays in-house with the Macho Man, Randy Savage, victorious over ravishing Rick Rude, and the Macho Man holds his title, holds his crown, the Macho King, once again the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Congratulations to the Macho Man. And also, don't forget, which has absolutely nothing to do with this tournament, the 16th, this coming 16th of November, we will have our annual birthday special to the Macho Man, Randy Savage, celebrating his career. Again, the winner of this tournament, and still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that the tournament's over, we will go back to the drawing board and make a brand new tournament. We haven't decided yet if we're going to go with this idea, but one of the ideas we did have was the 5-tool wrestler. You know how baseball uses the 5-tool player? You got your speed, your power, your base running ability, your defense, your run production. So we are going to come up with some kind of multi-tool wrestler. Someone that has charisma, somebody that has mic skills, somebody that has power, speed, and technical ability. The 5 tools of wrestling. And, you know, guys like early in their career, like Ric Flair. Guys like the aforementioned Macho Man Randy Savage. You know, the names could go on and on. Tully Blanchard, Davey Boy Smith. A lot of the guys we might have seen in our technical tournament. Some of them won't be in there because some of them didn't have any good mic skills. Somebody like Bret the Hitman Hart, even though some say he was kind of dry in the mic. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H. I mean, the names could go on and on and on. And we right now are, you know, trying to put together a tournament. It's not that easy, putting together 64 of the best all-around 5-tool wrestlers. It's going to be tough. So Nick and I are going to have to put our heads together, put our put our minds as one, and come up with something, and come up with some names. We started it at one of the conventions, but we kept losing internet connection, so we decided to do it at a later date. But since Nick is currently on the road, we're not able to talk much about it and the future of it. But we could expect it in maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe sometime in around the Thanksgiving part of November, that we will launch the 5-tool wrestlers. If you have any suggestions of wrestlers who you think should be in this tournament, you can send them to us at Damage Athletics on Twitter. You can drop us an email at damage365radio@gmail.com. You could also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/damage365. And or if we're live on the air like we are every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can reach us on Skype at Damage365 Radio. So we're all over the social media outlets. You can reach us. It doesn't matter. We are not hiding from anybody. So we're definitely easy to find. So don't you worry about it. Okay, so let's get into a little Warriors of Wrestling from last night. I was joined by Nanny, who is one of our former wrestling analysts here on Damage 365 Radio, and someone that I co-host with on VOC Nation's Pandemonium, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays on VOCNation.com. You can also visit us on Facebook at VOC Nation's Pandemonium. If anybody who knows us knows that name is perfect, because we usually go on numerous rants before we even start talking about what we plan to talk about. So it's just absolute pandemonium. And if anybody listened to us this past Wednesday, you would have heard me go on a rant about the internet wrestling community and how the internet is ruining wrestling. So yeah, whatever. I said my opinion. I still believe in it. The internet is ruining wrestling, and there's pretty much nothing that the businesses can do. That's just the way social media is nowadays. Everybody's got a camera phone. Everybody can just upload a picture or video to the internet, ruin it for everybody else. So that's just the way it's going to be. So they got to find some clever ways of keeping us on our toes so we don't know what's going to happen at that next pay-per-view or that pre-taping of SmackDown or something. Blah, 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 blah. But getting back to Warriors of Wrestling last night. Another great show put on by Joe Bellini and the Warriors of Wrestling crew. We saw X-Pac live in the house, and he was part of a 6-man tag. Got a great standing ovation from the crowd after the match. He, saluted the fans very respectfully, and kudos to X-Pac. Great job out there. And great job by Chris Steeler, who won the ladder match for the contract to get a championship match at any time. Good job by him. We have some video that we might be uploading to the site, to the Pandemonium site, and you'll just pretty much hear me screaming in the background for Chris Steeler to hit his opponent over the head with the clipboard once he pulled it off the rope, because I was starting to get a little antsy, and I was getting hungry, and I wanted Chris to put the guy out of his misery already. But Chris, the future WOW heavyweight champion, that's my opinion. I also think Chris Steeler is the future of wrestling. I think sometime in the next 3 years you will see Chris Steeler in NXT or TNA or even WWE. Depends on how fast they speed him through. But I do feel in 2 to 3 years you will see Chris Steeler in the mainstream of wrestling. So he's just that damn good, and he's very humble, and he takes it one kind of in stride, and he's not an egotistical maniac like some of these independent wrestlers are, and he just comes and goes, does his thing, and he's very good at it. So I expect big things from him. He's still young. So and I know Joe Bellini ain't gonna let him be lazy and rest on his laurels. So he's gonna kick him in the ass. It'd be nice to see somebody go, hey, you know what? So